Hello, everybody. This is Morgan Dragon Moon, and welcome to another episode of the Morgan Dragon Moon Show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about: is this the Age of Aquarius, or are we in some sort of false Age of Aquarius? So far, it's only myself right now tonight, but pretty sure we'll get some people on. Probably wondering what's with these sunglasses. These are actually some special sunglasses I had from this company called Rainbow Optics. These are the violet. Can't remember exactly what the frame is, but these are violet lenses, and these are good for helping with all the different chakras of your body. So, like, they have the root chakra, the sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, ajna, crown. They also have aqua color, which is throat and heart. They also have rose, which is heart as well. And these used to be like $30 at one point, but now I think they might have gone up a little bit, but it's okay. These still actually pretty cool. I like them, but it's kind of hard to see with them down in a dark place like this, so I will take them off for the time being. But yeah, these are what they look like, and these ones are actually safe for you to drive. There's certain ones that you cannot wear while you're driving, like the red ones, because those are just really intense. And I think there's other ones that are really intense too as well. So, where else to begin? Oh yes, I normally never do this, but I am burning incense in the background, and it is from Spencer Gifts. It's called House of Tarot, and it's the Death Tarot blend, which is frankincense, myrrh, and rose, and it smells really good. Honestly, I was thinking about making a blend like this for a candle at one point and putting it into some kind of like skull candle shape, whatever. And I thought that'd be a really cool idea. All right. I was thinking about maybe doing some readings tonight, but I didn't bring my cards near me. Oh, wait, I have cards near me. They're just not the ones I want to use. But what was I going to talk about? Oh yes, the Age of Aquarius. So as you know, there's an astrological cycle where every so many years is an astrological age. So, for example, you have Age of Leo, the Age of Virgo, the Age of Gemini. You know, like those are different ages. There's some people that say ages last every 2,000 years, and there's some people that say the age is the opposite sign of what it is. So, like, Age of Aquarius would be considered the Age of Aquarius Leo, which is theoretical. It's a possibility. All right. So we had an Age of Leo. Common interpretation is 10,500 BC to 8,000 BC. Age of Cancer was when the March equinox used to occur in Cancer. That'd be 860 BC to 6,450 BC. The Age of the Great Mother. And then we have the Gemini Age, which is 6,450 BC and ends in 4,300 BC. The Age of Communication. And you have the Age of Taurus, which is the age of the earth, agriculture, and the bull. Age of Aquarius, the age of war, fire, and the ram. Age of Pisces, the Piscean age. That's the age of monotheism, spirituality, and the fish. That's the age supposedly we're still currently in. And supposedly it's supposed to end in the year 2150 AD. That's when they say. That the Age of Aquarius has actually began now. Age of Aquarius is supposed to be the age of freedom, technology, and the water bearer. However, it seems like that first part, the age of freedom, is not exactly what's actually going on right now. It's actually starting to become the opposite, the age of enslavement. At least it seems like that way to me, especially with all going around right now. It really all kicked off at the end of 2019, December 2019. That's when the first detection of the scary cloud disease was first recorded about in Wuhan, People's Republic of China. And then eventually it came all the way over here, and I think it was Seattle was the first city that it came in, and then it started spreading across the U.S., and that's when states started initially starting to go down in their lockdown phases and restricting people's travel and telling people that they were not essential to work to not work. During that time, I was considered essential because I was working at a Target. I was working in the food departments, stocking food and stuff, so that's considered essential. I also was running my business at the time. During that time, we really weren't open as much as I wanted to be because of the whole orders the governors were having and stuff like that. But there were some times where if people wanted to come to the office just to see us and hang out, it was no big deal. We pretty much had the policy of if you're cool with it, I'm cool with it. As long as you don't freak out about anything, we're good, But then there was a point in time where people thought it was starting to get a little bit better, and then this first year of it happened in 2021. That's when the carjack. No, that's a stupid code word to use for it. The what's a better nickname for it? The blessing came out, and people started to get blessed by the dark ones. I know it's a dumb code word for it, but you get the idea of what I'm talking about. So anyways, there was a lot of people at first that were did not want to get the dark blessing because of who they thought it was associated with at first. Then now, after the election happened and 46 got into power, that's when everybody started going oh yeah, we need to get it. We need to have people start getting the dark blessing. We need to have everybody be blessed by the dark ones. And if you don't get the dark blessing, you don't have a job, or you got to get tested for the scary cloud disease every time you went to work. And then later on, during last year, they were having us wear a ritual garb again at work at Target, and I was for their ritual, and I was I'm sorry, I don't want to take part in your guys' ritual anymore. So I pretty much took a leave of absence at the time, work on my business full time, and then I've been working there ever since. My business ever since. It's a little slow now, but it will pick up this a little bit later. But anyways, Age of Aquarius is everything that the New Agers and everybody talks about in the spiritual community. It's the age of enlightenment, the age when has access to all known and unknown knowledge that exists in this realm. The age of when everybody becomes ascended into the fifth dimension. The age where everybody is treated equally and fairly. Everybody has freedom. There's no greed and stuff like that. It's like all sounds very utopian and very happy. It's like all your biggest dreams that you could think possible would be able to come true at that time. You'd be able to travel different points of the planet instantaneously. You'd be able to communicate with other people by just looking at them and reading their thoughts, telepathy, being able to do any more psychic abilities and stuff like that. It's a very positive experience, and I'm really hoping that that's the path we go down. But the collective consciousness has to make that decision, and it seems like right now there's still a lot more people that are not awake yet, and it looks like they're wanting to stay in the cages still. So what is the false Aquarian age, or the age of deception as I call it? That's where everybody is enslaved. That's where you're not able to do anything you wish to do without having permission from your authorities or the dark forces. You're not allowed to own anything. You're not allowed to be better off than any other people. You're all level playing field. It's different than how the Age of Aquarius is, because that there is really no playing field anymore. Everybody is on equal playing field, and the amount of resources everybody gets is unlimited, whereas in the Age of Deception, everybody's limited resources. So it's more or less the people that are in charge that are better off than everybody else. Aquarian Age is about technology that helps us advance more. Medical technology that allows us to live longer, be able to replace parts of our body, regrow things that we once lost, be able to repair things that we once thought weren't able to be repaired. The Deception Age, it's more or less like you're getting out of this human body and being placed inside of a machine, a robot, pretty much, an automaton. Transhumanism, that's where you're transitioning from a human body into something else, something upgraded. Like, you ever seen the show Doctor Who, the Cybermen? Like how they're in that show, like they used to be humans, but then they upgraded themselves to become cybernetic. That's kind of the same thing. It's you're taking your soul out of your body that you created into another imitation, a cold metal body that doesn't even look human at all. Although some of the robots are starting to look a lot more human, but it's just there's nothing there. It's like a false imitation of life. A lot of people don't realize this, but we're all bits and pieces of the same cosmic spiritual energy. We're all gods and goddesses in human form. We just don't realize that yet. A lot of us don't have that knowledge that we used to have We used to be able to do incredible things, but now it's like this realm is limited by what we believe and perceive. Does that mean like that I think people are able to manipulate reality and change it whatever they want? Yes, of course. You do that every single day. You do that by your choices. You choose to get up out of your bed. You choose to make your clothes. Fold your clothes. You choose to make breakfast or not. You choose everything in reality. There's stuff that happens, what you would call car accidents or instances where it's perceived as not beyond your control. And yes, it is technically beyond your control. However, your actions influence stuff that is uncontrollable as well. So, like, for example, you decide to turn down the street, and that particular time you get hit by a car. What if you decided one day, let's just say, instead of driving down that street, you decided to go forward and keep going on the same path you were before you turned left? What if that car that was meant to hit you ends up hitting someone else? Because you just diverted the path, as you can say, like they would call it the butterfly effect. Your one little insignificant choice ended up causing a ripple effect into a brand new reality that you're still molding every single day. Time is nothing but a sphere. It's not linear. It's simultaneous. You're living your past lives now and your present lives and your future lives now. It's all happening at the same time. But a lot of people don't realize that anymore. Where was I at? Transhumanism. That's pretty much like you turning into a robot. There's people talking about possibly being able to upload your consciousness into a computer so that you can live forever inside of a computer. That's an AI. Some people might not sound like a big deal. Some people might say, oh, well, I get to live forever in a computer. I can do whatever I want. But can you just imagine being in something like this for eternity? Not being able to do what you want to do, not being able to reincarnate into another realm or another planet. You know what I mean? There's some people that might think that's a good idea, but if you're connected to source and connected to the higher consciousness, why would you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to go on to the next realm? Or maybe just go back to the spirit realm and stay there for a while and possibly be a guide for some other soul on their journey. I know it's uncomfortable questions to talk about, but there are questions that need to be said, you know? I mean, yeah, some people might find it disturbing that I'm talking about stuff like this, but I'm at the point in time where it's like I need to get my message across to people. And if it kind of bothers you or upsets your feelings, I'm sorry, but it needs to be said. Speaking of feelings, social media is not part of the Aquarian age thing. It's more or less been a tool to divide people into itty bitty fractions instead of us reuniting together as a whole collective family. We have people that want to change everything. They want to get rid of everything. They want to start over, brand new, refresh everything. They want to divide people by what you look like, what your religious beliefs are, what your sexuality is, what you identify as. Those are the people that honestly are close to how the dark forces are acting. Because that's how they survive. They survive on hatred, anger, emotional heartache. They love that energy. They feed off of that energy, and it makes them stronger every single day. And that's why they keep pushing divide, 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 fear, fear, fear. That's what they want. That's their food. We denied the dark forces this food, they wouldn't be doing all this stuff anymore. We have a power that they don't have. We have a voice. There's enough of us that stand up for all these, against all these authoritarian grabs. We can beat them. We can push them back. We can tell them to stop. The thing is, everybody forgot their voice. Heck, there's sometimes where I forget my voice too. That's why I stopped doing this a while ago, because I didn't know how I would speak to people, how I would get my message across. I'm not trying to profit off of this. I mean, yeah, if you wish to donate money to help on our spiritual journeys and help with my shop and stuff like that, I totally get that. I would appreciate that. I'm not like YouTube people that want to just leech off of people's Patreons and live off of that. I mean, yeah, it's nice to be monetized and stuff like that, but I know for a fact YouTube is going to keep censoring more spiritual people. That's what they're starting to do now. Even Facebook's starting to slowly get that way too. You can't talk about the scary cloud without a fact checker popping up saying, this information is partially true, this information is partially false, this information is clearly false because of sources, and all the sources are all media companies. Isn't that a little odd? Age of Capricorn's going to be an interesting age. But let me show you something here. Now, some people are going to be upset when they see this, but I have to show it. All of these companies, these are all food companies, by the way, so this is not exactly what I was showing at first, but look at all these companies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 companies. All of these different types of foods are all by these 10 companies. And you still think you have you have an illusion of choice here? Do you think boycotting one of these brands is really going to affect everybody else? Oops. Give me one sec here. It's not the one I was looking for. Oh, yes, here we go. All right. That's... Okay, here we go. One, two, three, four. There are 6 media companies that own all of this. Look at Disney. Disney owns ABC. They own ESPN. They own A&E. They own History Channel. They own the Military Channel, Lifetime TV. NBC owns the Weather Channel, MSNBC, Sci-Fi, NBC News, USA, Chiller, Bravo, Telemundo. Liberty owns Stars, Encore, Movieplex. That's CBS that owns all this. Time Warner owns all that. CNN was actually founded by Ted Turner, who owns Time Warner. There is one company that's missing off of this, and that's News Corp. See if I can find a better image of that, but there we go. (1983) 90% of American media was owned by 50 companies. 2011, the same 90 companies are now controlled by 6 companies. And these are the 6 companies: GE, News Corp, Disney, Viacom, Time Warner, CBS. GE owns Comcast, NBC, Universal Pictures, Focus Features. News Corp owns Fox News, Wall Street Journal, New York Post. Disney, the evil corporation a lot of people keep talking about. ABC, ESPN, Pixar, Miramax, Marvel Studios, also Lucasfilm now. Viacom, MTV, Nick Jr., BET, CMT and Paramount Pictures, Time Warner, CNN, HBO, Time, Warner Brothers, CBS, Showtime, Smithsonian, NFL, Jeopardy, 60 Minutes. You still think you have free media when you have 6 different companies that own it all owned by multi-billionaires, trillionaires? I know it's a little bit of a hard pill to swallow, but Let's show one more thing that might not be very comfortable for you guys to see as well. There are 182 beauty companies that are owned by 7 major companies. Johnson & Johnson, you might have heard of that company. Look at all these companies that they own. Estee Lauder companies. L'Oreal. Recognize any of those names? NYX, I recognize that. L'Oreal, Matrix, Ralph Lauren, Vichy. You ever heard of Vichy France? I don't know if that's who they're named after, but that's a fascist French government in World War II. Shiseido. Honestly, I've never heard of that company before, but I've heard of Bare Minerals, Prior, Coty, Adidas, CoverGirl, David Beckham, Beyonce, Playboy, Guess, Wella, Procter & Gamble, Rejoice, Pantene, Head & Shoulders, Aussie, Herbal Essence, Gillette, Olay, Unilever, Pond's, Lever 2000, Axe, Dove, Sunsilk, St. Ives. Does any one of these companies happen to be a pharmaceutical company? I'll give you a hint. It's one of them. I think... Oh, wait, I take that back. There might be 2 that are pharmaceutical companies. So I'll give you a few seconds to figure that one out. You give up? Johnson & Johnson is one of the pharmaceutical companies on here. I think I thought Procter & Gamble was one, but I guess I was wrong. Johnson & Johnson. Yeah. It just shows you that in this reality, you have the illusion of choice. I take that back. There is one thing in this reality that I know for sure you do not have the illusion of choice on, and that's your spiritual practices. Even though you're born into a certain religion, everybody is. But that's because you decided to choose that path. You decide who you're born into, as well as you decide who you interact with on this path and who you reunite with and what you do to yourself and stuff on this path. I know it's kind of hard to hear, but there's a lot of people that don't realize the spirituality about soul contracts and stuff like that. Hey, yes, it is. I'm so glad. Oh, this reality, I swear. You'd be surprised with a lot of things that you discover. Like, what was that? I was talking about earlier about the different corporations that have everything. Like, there's only 6 major corporations that control of everything that's seen on TV. So Is there really an illusion of choice there? Because I feel like there is. I feel like they only want to show you what they want you to see. Because, I mean, look at what's going on right now up north. Do you see any of the major news outlets around here reporting about what's going on up there? And if they do, they label them as bad people. They always, a lot of people on TikTok are starting to call them supremacists and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know what's really going on anymore. All I know is that TikTok has some good in it, although there's a lot of playground bullies on there on both sides of the aisle. I'm just trying to stay out of that stuff. But it seems like every now and then people still get dragged into it. Oh, what again? Yeah, I know, right? There's a lot of people I know too that still trust in them. It's like there's so much you want to like tell a lot of these people just to try to wake them up as fast as they can, because I feel like the point of getting as much people awake as you can and trying to guide them as much as you can is starting to get closer to the end. Yeah. I'm starting to have a few people starting to see through this stuff now. But it's hard. It's like you want to tell almost everybody like what's really going on, but oh yeah. It's like you want to tell everybody what's really going on, but then they think you're crazy and stuff like that. And it's like, hey, I'm saying what I need to say. If you can't handle it, I'm sorry. It's not my problem anymore. I could be nice as much as I want, but in the end, if people don't like the fact that they're being told this stuff, I'm sorry about your feelings, but it's not my problem anymore. Just like this one guy on YouTube said, it's like I'm here to be my authentic self. I'm not here to be nice. That doesn't mean you can't be respectful too, but it just, oh cool, I got 2 people watching. That's awesome. Anyways, where was I going with what I was talking about? Yeah, next month is going to be an interesting month because I think, if I'm not mistaken, February 22nd or somewhere around the end of February is when the Pluto return is the start for the United States. We're going to help those. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people that are on this planet. I'm surprised they're actually very, very young souls in maturity levels. You have some that are, thanks. I like the music too. I just wanted to play something in the background that's not too loud and not too stressful or anything like that. I just love this kind of music. It's very calming stuff. I was playing what was it last time I was playing? I was playing the steel tongue drum music with the hand pan in the background along with a little bit of water. I love hearing that stuff. It just calms me down. Music no matter what kind of music it is, if it's like what I'm listening to now, or like flutes or like string music, it's like the essence of that music is connects me back with where I was originally from, not from his realm. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like music is like the deep connection humanity has. That's cool. But you know what I mean? It's like the music is the subconscious connection everybody has with each other. It's almost like I don't know if anybody's familiar with the phrase web of weird, but like the web of weird is this etheric tapestry of the entire universe, and everybody's woven on that tapestry as a thread. So like everybody's connected to each other by a thread. Or like, you know, like the red thread of fate too. And I think that's Sinto or something. I can't remember where the red thread of yes. Yes, see my profile. But what's that? Yeah, isn't that crazy that in 1983 there was 50 companies that controlled all the media in the United States, and now there's 6. Pretty soon it's gonna be 1. I'm all about sound healing and frequencies, yeah. Sound is definitely a very powerful tool. Even the dark entities figured that out too. A lot of their music sometimes is good for helping with shadow work too, from what I was told. All right, what was I looking up? Oh, don't mind the noise in the background. Yes, that's why I question the news propaganda. Yeah. Don't mind the sound in the background. That's just the heater turning on. But what was I saying? So I was talking about earlier about the this whole thing about them being able to start uploading people's consciousness onto a computer so that you would not ever die. You would be preserved on there forever. But there was a video game that's about that, and it's called Cyberpunk. They were talking about that your consciousness on this little computer, they can do whatever they want to that consciousness. They could torture you, they can kill you and reborn you. They can do whatever they want with your consciousness on that little device. It's pretty much like digital form of slavery. There's some people that I know for a fact that would love to be immortal, but that's not really the natural order of things right now. I mean, humanity, I know at one point we lived longer than we used to. I mean, we live longer than we do now, but after, I'm guessing after the fall of humanity at Atlantis, I think that's what I was told. That's when we lost that ability. Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's how it's interesting that Facebook decided to change their name to Meta, almost like it's an insult to the word metaphysical, almost like they're trying to go above and beyond what they are now. So like they're wanting to do like the virtual reality thing, like where you can have a virtual home, have a virtual job. And it's not just Facebook that's going to be doing it. It's going to be other companies that are going to be doing it as well. Facebook's just like this upload or whatever. Do you upload these to YouTube? I do stream to YouTube for now until I can find a better site that I could talk about a lot more things without them censoring me. So I'm just like using kind of code words to talk about certain things, such as like what's going around the world called I call it the scary cloud disease or scary cloud. And then the what the people up north are doing against the dark blessing mandates. That's what I call it. And that was like the best name I could think of. But then when I thought about it, it's like, oh man, I know someone that already has been darkly blessed, which kind of sucks, but it's their own free will, it's their own choice. You're in Canada. I heard everything up there is not going very good. It's like I heard something about you guys are getting closer to being like a complete police state up there. Is that true? It feels like it's slowly becoming that way here too. But out on the East Coast, it feels like that. It's like I want to go back to Salem, but I can't go out there and go to some of the places without having papers. And I'm not going to do that. But I have a feeling by the time March or April comes, things are going to start shifting, hopefully, for the better. It feels like something's starting to shift now. Because, like, what happened in UK, like, they're starting to back off now. I think the Czech Republic's starting to back off now, and there's other countries that are starting to back off now. France is not backing down. I think Germany's not backing down. I'm not sure. These are so quick to give up the freedoms. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are willing to give up their freedoms just to feel safe. That's the thing about fear. It's like fear is a powerful weapon. If you get people to be afraid of anything and you tell them that you could fix it, but you got to give up this and this and this, they'll do it. There's some people that will do it without even thinking 1 second. Oh, by the way, you signed the contract, so you're no longer allowed to have your property anymore because you didn't feel safe there anymore, so now it's mine. You know? They've been using this fear weapon for a long time, and they've gotten way better at using it, though. However, I do believe that there's a lot more people that are waking up that are starting to see that now. It's built in our Constitution that they could take away our rights. That's sad. That's really sad. Do some people up there believe that you guys would still be better off if you were a Commonwealth? I mean, not a Commonwealth, but like still part of the British Empire if it was still around? There's a lot of people in the United States that think that we'd be better off if we were still under British control. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We still are. I didn't realize that until I started digging more. Well, the U.S. Constitution actually means something. Yeah, it does. There's some people believe that there's actually two different constitutions now. There's one that was originally written, and then there's the one that supposedly is the corporate constitution of the United States. But that's a different rabbit hole I don't want to get down to tonight because that's something that's Facebook's, I mean, not Facebook, but like YouTube, it's kind of getting a little bit antsy about. What's I could talk about again? I was going to do readings tonight, but I just don't feel the energy right now tonight to do it. I was more or less going to talk about the Age of Aquarius and stuff like that. I honestly think that the Age of Aquarius is still coming, but it's like with anything new. It's going to take a long time. It's not going to be as easy as everybody thinks it's going to be first. We're going to have to go through a little bit of like tough times for that, but in the end, I think once we reach that point, it's going to be like all the weight of the world's off our shoulders, and we'll finally be able to live in the dream that everybody wants to live in. That's my hope. I hope I'm right. There's a lot more people thinking that it's not going to be that way, but as long as the whole entire collective consciousness wants to get to that point, then I feel like it will be. Wow. Yeah. I'm with you. Yep. I know what I was going to talk about now. Anyways, as I don't know if most of you know this or not, but I am going down the path of Norse paganism or heathenry, as some people call it. There is two, not three national groups in the United States. There's the Ossechu community. I'm not Ossechu, by the way. There's the Ring of Troth, and there's the Ossechu Folk Assembly. The Ossechu Folk Assembly is not very good at all. They're very, very political. I hate to use the word far right, but they are. There's some people that say there's people I know that used to associate with them are calling them like fanboys of the Third Reich. So how do I get to know more info? There's a lot of information online about a lot of this stuff because there's some people that believe, since it's an ancient religion that was completely wiped out in Europe, that it's technically an open religion, which I have no problem with other people learning about it, which is fine by me. I have no problem with it. I just don't like it when people think that what is that thing called? Like, what is that word called again? Moral superiority or whatever I think it's called. Yeah. Then there's like the Ossechu community and the Ring of Troth are like the opposite of the AFA. They are close to skirting to alt left. They pretty much want people, like, as soon as they join, they want them to sign all these things that are political stuff about them, saying you support all this and this. And it's like, if you can't have like a middle ground opinion, it's like you either have to be that or that. So that's why I chose not to join either of those groups. I don't want nothing to do with any of them. It's just like, being in a playground where there's people that want you to be on this side, or they'll bully you into submission, and there's other people that will protect you from those bullies, but at the same time, they're even worse. Yeah, deep enrichment in the physical form of the ego. Yep. It's just entrapment. Yeah, entrapment, pretty much. It's like you can't have a middle opinion. You can't, like, be not neutral. It's like all these people use this phrase, like, if you're neutral, have no opinion, then you're on the side of oppressors. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. It's like an absolute. And it's like in Star Wars, it's like you guys are like the Sith. You have an absolute opinion. It's like there's no middle ground with any of those people. It's almost like they're kids. Like they're not spiritually mature. I feel when I'm around all these people that fight online and stuff like that, I feel really old around them. It's like, you guys are acting like children, and I'm trying to just live in peace and be alone, not be involved in any conflicts, because I don't want to be involved in any conflicts. I have no problem with people of certain groups. It's like, I'll welcome you into my in as long as you're nice to me, and as long as you're not hostile to me. And I won't be hostile to you, and I'll be nice to you as long as you're not the same way, you know? It's like, you're a guest, and I'll treat you like my guest, but as soon as you start treating me poorly, then that's when I leave. You think that there's a great awakening happen, or are we just aware because of the internet? That is a good question. I'm not gonna lie, I used to be part of those people that believe that the whole there was a secret resistance group that was trying to take down the quote unquote deep state in the United States. But then when I started researching about the same thing that happened in the Soviet Union, right, they were trying to get people that were trying to gather together to bring back the monarchy and the republic, and it ended up being a ruse. That's kind of what I'm starting to see now. But I do believe like there's a lot more spiritual people starting to come around. A lot of children, especially. Yeah, there's a lot of young people, but they don't look like they're young. They just act like they are. But there's a lot more people that look like me that don't act like they're young. They're like a lot wiser than they look. And they're the old souls. You can tell they're old souls because of how they look in the eyes. My girlfriend's an old soul. I really care about her a lot. I do feel like she's part of the whole awakening thing as well, too. Yeah, I am. Feel really ancient. I feel like awesome. But yeah, I feel like I first arrived in this plane, or at least my soul first arrived in this plane around the time of Atlantis, because I did have past life regression there. Very interesting too. It did not look exactly like how I thought it would look there. Lovers, not fighters. Yeah. I only fight when I'm defending someone or protecting them. That's only when I would fight. I don't I don't like to be the one that engages right away. I'd rather be the one that's waits and has them engage me first. Because honestly, I just had this interesting thing pop up during the first Civil War. What did I say? First Civil War? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I hope I did not manifest that. Um, yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit more to kind of spread a message, try to get more people interested in stuff, and maybe try to grow a following of some sort. I don't know, but anyways, during the Civil War in the United States, the the CSA, the Confederacy, was trying to oh yeah, we all felt that vibe. Yep. But the CSA was trying to get the federal government to fire on them first, because if they fired on them first, then the whole country would have been on their side then, because that would show the whole world that the United States was being the aggressor, but it didn't happen. It ended up being the CSA firing on them first, which I feel like this time it's going to be the opposite. I feel like if there is something going on, I feel like the federal government's going to start it first. Yeah. It might be part of the Pluto return too, because I think it's been 200 and some years since the United States has been formed. And it's right around the time when the empires start collapsing. That's how long it's been. Which it feels like it's starting to go that way right now. Yeah, I hope Amber gets better. She's kind of sick right now. Luckily, it's not the scary cloud disease; it's something else. But her temperature's been kind of going up and down, and there's been times where she's not able to talk, and but I feel like she's getting better. It's just slowly but surely. She's a fighter. Very, very powerful warrior energy I sense from her. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah. If any of you heard of that treaty that the United States and the world has, where like no country's allowed to even like do anything in Antarctica. I can't remember what it's called. The UN. Yes, the UN Antarctic Treaty. Okay, that's what it is. Um, there's 12 countries that signed off to make Antarctica like a no-go zone. Let's see if I can find it here. Antarctic Treaty System. Regulates international relations with respect to Antarctica, only continent without a human population. Let's see, who are the countries that signed it? Let's see here. Argentina and Australia have a claim to it. Austria, Belarus. Oh wait, no, they were not signatures. Never mind. Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Chile. Chile has a claim to it. France, they have a claim to it. Germany used to have a historical claim to it. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. It's called New Swabia. Japan has a historical claim to it. And they were one that signed it too. New Zealand signed it. Norway signed it. They both have claims. Russia signed it, except they're called the Soviet Union back then. South Africa signed it. UK signed it. They have a claim to it. And the United States signed it, but they do not have a claim to it. They reserve the right to make a claim to it, though. So if any of you want to go to Antarctica and any of those countries are signed on there, you have to get permission from them to go there. Otherwise, it's not a good thing, from what I heard. $10,000 fine and 1 year in prison if you're from the United States. Let's see if I can find that one picture. Oh, yes, here it is. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to share this map with you. It's, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the flat earth and the ice wall thing, but this is interesting. Someone's design of what's supposedly behind the ice wall. So this is the earth right here. And that's supposedly Antarctica, the whole ice wall. And then there's part of these areas that are beyond it. There's a mountain ring. And there's Atlantis and Lemuria, the abysmal ocean. Anubis, Isis, Osiris, Frozen Wastes, supposed to be Niflheim, Nemo, Magellan's Islands, Scorched Waste, I think that's Muspelheim. Asgard. That's supposedly what someone discovered. I've heard of that theory before, but I'm not 100% sure. It'd be really interesting if it is true. Yeah, supposedly. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a lot more people that are starting to believe the whole firmaments in the ether and the world being flat, supposedly because they found there's this encyclopedia that was talking about Antarctica, and they were talking about how high the firmament is from Antarctica, and it wasn't very high. And it was like in 1950 something that this was published, and then the newer copies do not have this in there. So there's some people who believe that they're starting to hide all the flat Earth evidence. Do I honestly believe in flat Earth? I don't know. If this reality is a simulation, then it would make a lot of sense. Because in video games, in the earlier ones, they were all flat dimensionally. They just appeared third dimensionally, which would make a lot more sense to me if that's the situation. But honestly, I don't know. I know there is more realms. There's other dimensions and stuff like that. And if that's represented like in that map, then it would make a lot of sense then. You'd be able to easily cross into those other dimensions, into our dimension, without any issues. But who knows, maybe those other realms, those other dimensions beyond the ice wall, maybe you need to have like special ability to be able to go beyond it in order to exist beyond it. You know, it's a possibility. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but it's 100% possible. I mean, there's a lot more spiritualists and occultists that are starting to believe that too. And then like how people defend the round earth theory or the globe theory, and they call the people that are flat earthers dumb and stuff like that. They won't even like listen to the theories and stuff like that. It just makes me wonder, are they right then, the flat earthers? Because they're getting viciously attacked by anybody else, and it's one of the things that they're really not really censoring as much anymore, because people think, oh, that's just crazy, you know. But then when you look at the UN logo, it looks just exactly like that map. It's almost like it's in plain sight, and that's usually what these dark entities do. They hide everything in plain sight. They're not original. They can't like say, oh, we're gonna do this, but we can't show anybody this because it will ruin our plans. They'll keep it in plain sight so that nobody will notice it unless they're looking. It's almost like oh, look, our boys in that group are showing us what they're planning on doing next. Look at that, we found it. You know, you're the second person that said the same thing. I wonder who these guys are. Almost makes me wonder if YouTube is starting to send. I have to keep going, but always great topics here. Thanks. Do you have any certain day you're going to be on here? No, not really. I might. Late Sunday. This day is great. Late Sundays. I'll try to do late Sundays. I might do stuff on Wednesdays too, because of the fact that Wednesday is associated with the god I work with the most now, Woden's Day. I might do stuff on Wednesdays too. I'm not sure yet. It all depends on how busy I am on the outside. But yeah, I might wrap it up tonight because it's getting kind of late now. So until I figure out other topics to talk about, this has been the Morgan Dragon Moon Show. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you next Wednesday. That will be the 2nd of February. That will actually be a holiday. That will be, I think it's Imbolc. Yeah, it's Imbolc. Or, well, for my holiday, it's Thorablot. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a very good night. And blessed be all you, and stay grounded, stay sane, especially in this crazy realm, because it's just the beginning of what's going to be coming. I can feel it. It's going to be a wild ride. Blessed be. Bye for now.